Thanks for joining us on Facebook Live and YouTube as we track Hurricane Melissa. And we just got an update actually from the National Hurricane Center, winds up to 185 miles per hour. Just a heartbreaking situation as we watch what is it will be a crushing blow for Jamaica. It's not common that we see Category 5 hurricanes. It's even more rare that we get one that makes landfall. I'm joined with Gulf Coast meteorologist Sarah Blue, and we're also taking your questions too if you're watching us on Facebook Live or on YouTube as well. And Sarah, of course, you were tracking this over the weekend, and we talked about this rapidly intensifying, and that's what we've seen take shape, and no indications of this slowing down in terms of the intensity.
Certainly, this exploded over the weekend. It officially became a hurricane Saturday around 2 p.m. And then by Sunday, it already jumped to Cat 4 and continued to intensify all the way to a Category 5, which is what we're seeing now. Yeah. Our winds are all the way up to 185, which puts this well above the threshold for even being named a Cat 5. So this is just a monster of a storm. And we're starting to see the eye wall become closer and closer to the coast of Jamaica. We're looking at a landfall here probably within the next couple of hours. Jason just put a track on it.
Yeah, it looks like the eye wall, the northern eye wall, about 10 miles away from the southwestern coast of Jamaica. I was just looking at some information that came across our feed now that we got that 10 o'clock update, and the pressure's dropped to 892. So essentially when you see the pressure go down, the winds will go up. So as the pressure lowers, that means that the air is flowing quickly into the center of the storm at the surface, and then it going up and out at the top of the storm. And this is what we call a very deep storm in terms of the pressure. But what I wanted to pass along here is that Hurricane Melissa now is tied for the third lowest pressure on record in the Atlantic Basin. So it joins a group of storms that is the worst that we've ever seen. As I mentioned before, Category 5 storms are not that common. There's only been a handful that have hit the U.S. even. And now we're looking at one that's going to make a direct hit over Jamaica. One thing that we have seen, Sarah, is that the wind, the speed, the forward motion is beginning to pick up. We were tracking it over the weekend, and it was essentially stationary.
That's true. As we start to see this picking up, that will help this clear out a little bit faster. But because that storm was such a slow mover over the weekend, and even when I was tracking it yesterday, we weren't getting this to stop moving or to really clear out. So that just caused unrelenting winds, which we're still seeing across Jamaica, and multiple days of very heavy rainfall. This is going to be very, very impactful for Jamaica. Right now, we're looking at a landfall somewhere on the western portion of the island, but that means that the whole eastern side of the island is on the dirty side of the storm, which comes with its own set of challenges with the potential for some spin-ups and, of course, some very gusty winds in that area. The whole area is going to experience absolutely impactful, potentially catastrophic winds.
Yeah, and so many impacts, when we think of hurricanes, and we know, living in the Gulf Coast, some of the storms that we've had to deal with, with Hurricane Ian, how terrifying that was, and then waking up the next day and seeing that the devastation that the storm surge caused. So we know what it's like, but this is, we've been getting questions about, how this compares to Ian. This is a step above Ian in terms of the overall intensity. One of the reasons, too, is because it's moving at a snail's pace. And we were talking about some of the rainfall from this. So we know that it has winds up to 185 now, but the rainfall, we're talking about locally in some areas picking up as much as 40 inches. And whenever you get that amount of rain anywhere, it's going to lead to major, major consequences and just devastating effects there from the rainfall. But one thing I wanted to point out is we're going to look at a live camera here from Jamaica in just a moment, but the capital city, Kingston, it looks like will avoid the worst of the winds, at least those top winds at 175. Right now, it looks like the eye wall is about 73 miles away from Kingston, but they're also seeing those winds come on shore like this, and this just piling water up against the bays and some of the harbors there, and the water has nowhere to go. It just keeps getting pushed on shore and pushed on shore, and so that's going to lead to some major issues with flooding as well. So I want to go to that live shot. This is Kingston Harbor. And again, we're talking about 70 or so miles away from the core of the storm, and you can see just how choppy those waves are right now. I'm not sure how long we're going to have this camera. We've already lost some of the cameras going down as the storm continues to draw closer.
Definitely some very rough waters out there. I saw on the coast of Jamaica, they were forecasting between 9 to 13 feet of storm surge. No, that's not specifically in Kingston, but that is just generic for the southern portion of the island. But still, that is life-threatening and catastrophic.
In we'll go to just to kind of show you how the winds are going around the storm. This is from a forecast model, so I know you might see that the center of circulation over land, it has not made landfall yet. But around the Kingston area on the east side of the center, as I mentioned, the water is getting just pushed up against the land. And so at the same time, you have some of this rainwater that's just coming down relentlessly. We talked about as much as 30 to 40 inches of rain, and just the way that the terrain is over the island, you have a very mountainous region over much of the island, and the rain comes in from the mountains and then drains into some of the canals, like around the Kingston areas. They call them gullies, and all of that goes down into Kingston Harbor. Well, then you get the water level rises there from the storm surge, and that water has nowhere to go. And that's where you get that catastrophic flooding. So flooding, even though we focus a lot on the winds, and those winds getting up to 185 as we see there, it's going to be the water that causes a lot of the devastation, especially in terms of loss of life. And we hope that's not the case, and we're hoping everyone on the island is safe. As we take a look at the wind field from the storm, I know when we look on the satellite, it looks like this massive monster of a storm. But the hurricane force winds are pretty compact. So Lisa Spooner was asking me this morning hey, is there any good news that we can point to? And it's that this is not a storm where the hurricane force winds goes out like 100 miles and will cover the entire island. Tropical storm force winds go out pretty far, though.
That is true. We've been seeing Jamaica in the tropical storm force winds for quite some time. I did want to point out, I saw this from the National Hurricane Center in one of the advisories yesterday. We're tracking such gusty winds, and of course, we're tracking even stronger winds the higher up that you go in altitude. And Jamaica is very, very mountainous. So any structures that are up higher in the mountains, the National Hurricane Center was saying, and I quote, total structural failure just because of how gusty the winds are. So certainly keeping Jamaica, and especially those who have homes in the mountainous regions, in our thoughts and prayers. Of course, with the mountains, that also comes with the risk of landslides. That's something that will likely be impactful, especially with these multiple feet of rain. We're talking almost 3.5 feet of rain as this passes by.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're measuring rainfall in feet instead of inches. And that what you said just a moment ago about the National Hurricane Center mentioning the structural failure with a lot of these buildings that see the worst of the winds, that's not something that they say too often. I mean, because we read their discussions a lot, and that is a serious statement from them. We were talking about some of the winds in the higher elevations. It wouldn't surprise us if we saw in some of the more mountainous regions, because as you go up, the winds get higher. If we see winds sustained, closer to 200 miles per hour or above. So.
Certainly, and this is a monster of a storm. So this is our third Category 5 so far in the Atlantic Basin of 2025. And I just want to compare it to the last two. We had Erin and Umberto. Those winds topped out around 160, and we're seeing 185. So this is just a beast of a storm.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of examples of something like this, and we're not here to hype anything up. We've seen, historically, what hurricanes have done in the past, and this is 185. That's something that's pretty rare to see. Even more rare to see something of this magnitude making landfall. Let's take a look at some of the wave heights. We popped this on the screen a moment ago, but I've been kind of watching this throughout the morning, and you can always kind of get an idea of how much water a storm is pushing around, or get an idea of the strength by how much water a storm is pushing around. And we're looking at wave heights up to about 24, 25 feet. So there's just a lot of energy being spread out by Hurricane Melissa, especially there closer to the core of the storm. Let's highlight some of the impacts now. So we expected, let me go back one more here so we can just take a look at the timeline. So this is going to be the first of a few landfalls. Makes landfall in the next hour over sections of Jamaica there, the southern side. Winds at 185 miles per hour right now. Winds could likely come down. I think we're going to see that as it interacts with some of the terrain, especially some of the more mountainous areas. And then a second landfall later tonight into Wednesday morning over eastern portions of Cuba. But even then, we could be looking at a Category 4 hurricane. Noticing my box is getting cut off, so I'm just going to go ahead and just move that to the other side of the screen so everyone can see it.
And this timeline of the track, I've been tracking it all weekend. It has kind of gone back and forth as we've been watching Melissa's just snail pace. It has slowed down, but now that we're starting to see that storm finally gain speed again, that will help us determine out that time. So like I said, a matter of hours is what we're looking at for the landfall in Jamaica. And then like Jason mentioned, sometime Wednesday morning, probably that Category 4 landfall in Cuba.
Always a bad combination with not just a Category 5 hurricane, but one that is moving as slowly as this one. A slow-moving storm always causes problems, and it's even worse that we have one of this scale. As we take a closer look at some of the impacts here for Hurricane Melissa, we mentioned the wind and storm surge. It looks like this will become the strongest hurricane on record, at least, to hit the island of Jamaica with life-threatening flooding, and you mentioned the landslides. So just a multitude of hazards, and think about if you were here for Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Ian, how long we went without power with those storms. And so we could be looking at weeks, if not longer, for the citizens there that will go without power as they recover. But let's focus on, I guess, what's happening right now, and we'll get to that here. The recovery after the storm moves away from the island, and that can't happen fast enough there for the residents of Jamaica. And you can see, Sarah, you were talking about how eventually this storm will pick up speed as it moves into the Atlantic, and it's actually going to connect with a cold front, little dip in the jet stream, which will shove it along. And it's been waiting on this cold front for several days, which is why it's just been kind of sitting and spinning across the northern Caribbean. But even after it moves past Cuba, we're looking at the southeastern Bahamas, Bermuda potentially with some impacts from a weaker storm, but still possibly a hurricane.
Still, certainly it could be impactful. Now, if you guys were watching when this was still just an invest in a tropical storm, I'm sure you remember us talking about if it was going to meet that cold front, which direction it was going to go, because this storm the forecast cone was very uncertain for a long time. Now we've started to finally see the atmosphere take shape in a way that we know where this storm is going to go. And that cold front that's going to help shove this along and help to finally accelerate it through the Caribbean and off toward the Atlantic, that's going to keep it away from the eastern United States. So that will keep the impacts away from Florida as well as the East Coast. The only thing that we may see are some rough waters that make it to the East Coast, but nothing like the impacts that are happening in the Caribbean right now.
Yeah, as we look at the bigger picture, you can kind of see what's happening with Hurricane Melissa. There's two fronts that we're tracking. There's one over the southern tip of Florida now, and that's what's kind of helping to start guiding it to the northeast. There's a second, stronger cold front sort of waiting in the wings, positioned over Texas. So you can sort of see how all these moving parts play a role in where Melissa will go. So this takes us through Wednesday morning around 8 o'clock. And then there's Melissa moving across the southeastern Bahamas. Here comes that second, stronger cold front. This is around Thursday morning. And this will really help to accelerate Melissa off to the northeast. And, just here locally, we're talking about Melissa, but this will be the first strong cold front of the season for us across the Gulf Coast. And we're going to be tracking temperatures down in the chilly 50s here as we get toward the end of the week. So this cold front, in a way, is sort of our protector and preventing Melissa to move up into the southeastern U.S.
Certainly, it's keeping all of those steering currents away from the U.S. and keeping that moving away from us, which I know that I am very grateful for living here in Florida.
Yeah, we've had our fair share of storms, that's for sure. We could definitely use a break here. Of course, good news for us, bad news for somebody else is typically the way that it works in the tropics. And so we are just probably under an hour away from Hurricane Melissa making landfall. Winds right now at 185 miles per hour. The pressure continues to drop, which means the storm continues to intensify. One thing we were hoping to see, and this happens a lot when you get these Category 5 hurricanes, they can't hold on to that intensity for a long time, and so they go through those eye wall replacement cycles. We just haven't seen that yet, and it doesn't look like it's going to occur before our landfall happens. Here in the next 30 minutes, we'll have the 11 a.m. advisory from the National Hurricane Center. Hurricane hunters have been in the storm constantly gathering data, so that's why we're starting to also get these hourly advisories. We're also taking your questions here on Facebook Live, and Sarah's going to check in to see if there's any questions that we can address.
I haven't seen any questions yet, but I am seeing some comments saying that the live videos right now are not showing the wind and the rain. That's just a camera thing. There definitely is wind and rain. It's just the angle of the camera that's going on there. Because trust me, I'm looking at the data and
and here's a good way to kind of illustrate that. So there's the worst of the storm. And I'll kind of draw on here so you can see. So the hurricane force winds, where they're finding it at 185 miles per hour, is right in this little pocket, okay? So that only goes out about 30 or so miles from the center. Where the camera is located is right in Kingston Harbor. So that's why we're not looking at the worst of the winds, because the cameras that were there over the southwestern part of the island, they're no longer operational. And if we kind of measure the distance from the eye to where we have that working camera, that's about 70 miles away. And so that's why you're seeing, if we look here from, as soon as I said that, the camera's now, it looks like we're starting to, now it's back up. And we don't, obviously we're not controlling this camera, but we're looking there in Kingston Harbor.
Still though, that looks like
rough.
An absolutely turbulent and very angry sea there.
But I can guarantee you it is going to be much, much worse there on the western part of Jamaica, where you see that little circle there. The entire island, of course, will see some major impacts from this storm.
For sure. I did want to point out something that I saw from one of the Hurricane Hunter reports. This was yesterday. They were in the eye wall and seeing all of their measurements, but they ended up encountering birds in the center of the eye. And this is something that can happen when the storm is just so strong that birds will be in the center in that calm portion of the storm. But the winds are so gusty that they simply can't escape.
They're trapped, they can't get out. Actually, you know what, we saw that with Hurricane Idalia a couple of years ago with flamingos that were moved because they could not get out of the eye of the storm. So, sometimes that happens. You get the birds that actually it's caught up. I know it sounds wild, but really that's what happens there. And there was one point yesterday where the hurricane hunters were trying to fly into Melissa, and they had to turn around just because it was too turbulent, too dangerous for them to go in and get observations. But
that's really saying something, because these hurricane hunters they fly into some of the most violent storms in the world. So that just is a testament to how strong Melissa is.
If you have, family or friends, Sarah, I know you know someone who lives in Jamaica, someone that you went to school with, and you said they're in...
they're in Kingston.
In Kingston.
And, I have been watching all of their updates and seeing the rain that my friend has been posting. So certainly it is getting really turbulent out there. I heard reports that a lot of the residents are going and buying their food, and some of the shelves are starting to become more bare.
Yeah.
Because they're preparing for this hurricane.
I hope your friend's okay, and if you know anyone, you have family, friends in Jamaica, we hope everyone stays safe in what's going to be just a long, terrifying day as they deal with this monster of a storm, the strongest storm on the planet this year, and one of the strongest hurricanes in recorded history. If you missed it at the beginning, now with this update at 10 a.m., this hurricane Melissa is tied for third for the lowest pressure on record.
Which is absolutely insane. It's very rare that we see Cat 5s, and then seeing one of this magnitude is just an absolute mammoth of a storm. I have a feeling, it's too early to say this, but they'll likely end up retiring this name after the aftermath of Melissa.
Yeah, I think a strong likelihood there. And what we're going to do now is, after the next 20 or so minutes, we'll have the 11 a.m. advisory. Gulf Coast meteorologist Lauren Hope is getting ready to start coverage of Melissa's landfall. She'll update you on Gulf Coast NBC starting at 11 a.m. Thank you so much for your questions. Thanks for joining us on the YouTube stream and Facebook Live. And we'll, of course, bring you more updates throughout the day and what's going to be a very long day across the Northern Caribbean, from Jamaica to Eastern Cuba, parts of the Bahamas, and also around the Turks and Caicos. They could see some impacts from this. All right. I'm Gulf Coast meteorologist Jason Dunning here with...
And I'm Gulf Coast meteorologist Sarah Blue. Thank you so much for joining us for this Facebook Live.